They?
Yeah, them.
Where'd you move here from, dumb?
Well, heidi ho, hello everyone. Welcome to the Dumbsville Uncharted comments reaction video. The video where I talk over nothing for God knows how long. Which may or may not involve me being busy in real life and having to make quicker content to keep my channel afloat. So recently I made the video Uncharted, the worst movie ever? Which, yeah, it is my new least favorite movie, so in that regard, it is the worst movie ever made to me. However, even if the title were just complete clickbait, there are a shocking amount of people that are defending this pile of shit. Like, why? It's so blatantly not a good movie. And I think I went pretty in detail as to why I didn't like the movie. You know, 44 minutes as to why. And look, if you enjoy the movie, that's all you, man. Have fun with it. But like, some of these comments, I'm genuinely worried for you. It's like some of y'all don't even try. Like, I'm gonna be honest here. Like our first comment. L. What is L about my review? Would you mind elaborating? It's a shame. I would have loved to hear your feedback. I don't know, man. Next comment, I guess. Movie wasn't that bad. Okay, why wasn't it that bad? Do you have anything against the points I made in my video? Any problems? Any gripes or anything? Anything beyond just me liking the movie? Like, I'm not asking for an essay or anything. Just give me like a fucking sentence at least. I liked it. Oh my god, this one's even less words. Can we get a comment not written by a skinwalker, please? Anyone tired of seeing women put men down in movies? I asked for ones not written by skinwalkers. The fuck does this guy mean? On top of the, you know, obvious geeks and gamers anti-SJW rhetoric. Last time I checked, Nathan Sully beat the strong female villain in the movie. I don't know what to tell you, man. Sorry the female villain was built up to be a threat. I'm sorry the female villain isn't like a fucking bimbo. Go back to watching the Daily Wire or something.
Let's say you've been a bad girl.
Alright, next comment. I like it. XD. Okay, next comment. Bro hating for no reason. No reason? Really? No reason? Out of all 44 minutes in my video, you couldn't find a single reason in it? I mean, fuck, dude, a 44-minute long video, you would think there'd be at least like one or two good reasons. Like, you know, the CG being shit, the acting being shit, the story being inferior. Not a single reason. Nothing. I'm just hating for no reason. Okay. Pro tip, if you make a point during an argument that the other person responds to with a shut the fuck up, then that can only mean they either have serious anger issues, or they have no valid arguments to back them up. Dumbsville is one of the rare cases where it's both. Well, guys, it's over. It's absolutely jover. You're not allowed to say shut the fuck up during an argument anymore. Absolutely no reason why you would ever have to say shut the fuck up during any kind of altercation. It only means you have anger issues or you have no argument. And severe anger issues at that. What kind of fucking brain rot is this, dude? Like, no, it's not the nicest thing to say, but I wouldn't rule out just these two extremes, dude. Oh, and just for the record, I was acting in that scene. I absolutely do not have anger issues, at least as far as I'm aware. I don't actually act like that in real life. Like, that's just fucking dumb to do. Even now, like, this isn't even like my regular voice. Like, let me show you, right now, if I were to talk to you in a call, this is how I would probably talk to you. And of course, the more animated I get, the more you kind of hear the voice come out. But obviously, if I were to talk like this throughout a whole video, it wouldn't be very confident. But then if I kind of play up the voice a bit more, then yeah, this is more entertaining. It's more exciting, more engaging. I'm playing up the role. This is what we do. And yeah, I do get angry in videos sometimes. And I absolutely push that in the Uncharted video. There's one take where I started like throwing my chair in the background. But the thing is, that starts and ends at my videos. I don't actually throw chairs at people or anything. I do it because it's entertaining and it's funny. I don't have any ulterior like mental issues or anything, I think. I mean, for all I know, I could be like a raging schizophrenic. I don't fucking know. XY, the worst Z of all time. Annoying as fuck Zoomer creators. Well, Jesus, I'm sorry. Sorry, I think the Uncharted movie is the worst movie in my opinion. And I titled it accordingly. Bigger question though, what does this have to do with being a Zoomer? Is calling something the worst thing ever suddenly indicative of an entire generation? It seems very ageist to me. Not to mention, really fucking stupid. I actually agree with you on plenty of these points, but your unfiltered rage is so disturbing that I refuse to be on the same side of the argument as you. You also harp on the same things over and over again, and somehow I still don't feel like you get your point across. I mean, for the latter part, I could see why you would think that, although I don't agree with that. A lot of my points did come down to, hey, the games did this shit better, which I think if you're making an adaptation, that's a very valid point to make. But if you found that repetitive, I can't entirely blame you at all, because that was one of my main problems with the movie. What I don't get, though, is the fucking unbridled rage part. Was I really that angry in the video? Like, yeah, okay, maybe I was, but I thought it was clear that I was playing it up as an act. Like, it's meant to show you how I feel about this movie, you know? It's meant to show emotion, on top of just generally being more entertaining. Like, I don't fucking act like that in real life. Who I am on the internet and who I am to real life people are two very different things. Like, I don't act like this in real life, are you kidding me? Let's make it clear here, I don't have anger issues. Jesus Christ. Uncharted 4 is a great game, now your opinion doesn't matter. Well, first of all, I'm sorry I like the well-liked video game. I hope you can forgive me on that one. What's wrong with liking Uncharted 4? What kind of fucking brain rot is this? Isn't the game well-liked? I thought I would get flack for not liking the game as much as people do. But I guess my entire opinion is invalidated because I think Uncharted 4 is pretty good. Okay, after 8 minutes, I can tell that you just mad kiddo. And yes, movie adaptations don't need to be one-to-one copy of the game. I swear to God, I went over this in the video, man. I elaborated on this multiple times. I had a whole ending segment where I talked about that Last of Us show. I was honest, yet also very thorough. I tried my best. But you know what? Some people are just lost fucking causes. And this guy is one of them. I give up. Next comment. You're entitled to your own opinions, even if they're wrong, and oh boy, are they wrong. Thanks? You mind elaborating on that? You know, I didn't think people would like the Uncharted movie this much. You guys are really vehement on this. All without elaborating on why I'm wrong at all. For fuck's sake, what a hyperbolic rant of a review. Look, don't get me wrong, it isn't on par with the game. It's not even quantifiably close to what they pulled off. It's why they're among my favorite games to ever exist. But the movie was nowhere near the shit show you're making it out to be. I went in expecting a complete disaster and came out feeling they did a decent enough job at capturing what the games did well, while putting their own spin on it. It wasn't perfect, but I still had fun with it. They knew they already did it perfectly, so it wasn't worth retelling the exact same stories again. First counterpoint, The Last of Us show. That game arguably has a better story than Uncharted, or at the very least a more revered one, and especially tightly knit, and the show knows that and adapts it properly. That's what an adaptation should be, in my opinion. Also, the quote-unquote new spin on Uncharted is fucking boring. I don't know if you watched the entire video, but if I were to show the Uncharted movie to someone who wasn't familiar with the series, they more than likely would absolutely not get the appeal. The characters and their chemistry is severely undercooked. Long stretches of the movie are fucking boring. And even on its own, there's no reason to watch it over, say, Indiana Jones or National Treasure. Which begs the question, aside from money and pure profit, what was the point? And what do you mean capturing what the games did well? Mark Wahlberg is Sully, Tom Holland is Nathan Drake, the humor is really unfunny. It did not capture what the games did well at all. What do you mean? That brings me to a question though. You made it very clear that you'd have preferred it to be closer to the source material, and that's fair, I agree with that. But it begs the question of why you'd even bother seeing this movie when there was no possibility it was going to beat the games in their virtually flawless execution of the characters and story. It's made even worse for you since you hold these games in such a high regard that you actually compare the Lorax to it favorably, which again is a hyperbolic and objectively ridiculous take. It's not that bad even when under the most scrutiny. Objectively, oh my god, we're pulling out the big words here. As I mentioned briefly in my video, the Lorax I think is a better adaptation than Uncharted because simply put, it follows the basic narrative structure at least. How is that a hyperbolic take? Like, okay, I could see the argument for my title of my video being hyperbolic, but the Lorax thing, come on now. How is that a hyperbolic? It seems pretty reasonable to me. You can disagree with it, sure, but it sure as fuck isn't a hyperbolic. Nor is it objectively ridiculous. Is that not a hyperbolic take itself? What kind of walk did you put in your lean, my guy? Also, why did I watch this movie if I knew I wouldn't like it? Oh, Christ. Look, I don't mean to straw man or anything, but first of all, if I didn't see the movie and said it was bad on principle, you'd probably shit on me and be all like, oh, you didn't see the movie. That means you can't make a fair judgment on it. Which is why I ended up seeing the movie. I wanted to give it a fair judgment. But also worth noting, I didn't see this movie in theaters. I watched it on Netflix. So I still didn't really see the movie. I mean, I did, yeah, but I waited for it to drop on streaming first. And also, I don't know, I love the Uncharted games. And also worth noting, YouTube is my job. And I thought a video on the Uncharted movie would be an interesting video. I already knew I wouldn't like it, so why not dive into why? And lo and behold, 44-minute video, I had a lot to say. So, there's your answer. I hope my answers weren't hyperbolic at all. The movie wasn't very bad in my opinion, it's just meh material. I like the flying ship scene. At least it's not egregious like 99.9% of other video game adaptations. Oh, finally, a comment that's not completely fucking dog shit. But still, I don't know though. Like, with the stature of what Uncharted is, what kind of story it tells, I don't know, man. Like, Uncharted is very straightforward. Like, with a movie with, say, like, Warcraft, or like Hitman Agent 47, like, those are mediocre to just downright awful. But like, the source material isn't exactly narratively deep. You can't exactly walk out of Hitman Agent 47 going, man, they ruined the amazing storyline of the Hitman video game. Because those games aren't really narratively driven, so my, like, hatred of it can only reach so high. With Uncharted, though, you have a set story and characters. Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 4 are both award-winning stories. So in a way, yeah, it is a lot more egregious. Because you have the perfect foundation there, and yet you absolutely refuse to use it. That to me is a lot more egregious, and shows the lack of respect Hollywood has for video games. If Uncharted is the worst movie ever, I'm glad you don't watch a lot of movies. Bitch, have you seen my goddamn letterbox? If you want to know how to write dialogue, then play Uncharted. Sorry, dude, but that sentence fails on a fundamental level. Okay, nice. You mind explaining why? I think the games are well written, and new writers could take one or two cues from it. What fundamental level am I failing at here? Do you just not like the games? What is your definition of good writing? I really want to hear it. If you're so confident that I'm failing on a fundamental level, explain why. That's a pretty bold claim to make. No, it isn't. Like, it's not that good, but you're being hyperbolic. You're the worst YouTuber of all time. I'm the worst YouTuber ever because I hate a fictional movie? Is that not hyperbolic? Oh, I see what you're doing here. Ah, real funny, hilarious. Look, at least I went on to give like a 44-minute reason as to why I thought it was the worst movie ever. Like, I'm not just being hyperbolic for hyperbolic's sake. I wouldn't have titled the movie the worst movie ever if I didn't genuinely think that. But to each their own in the end, I guess. The only thing worse than this movie is your tight-ass edits of your own dialogue. Get over yourself? He's not even complaining about my fucking over-editing. He's complaining about the way I edit my voiceovers together. Sorry, I want a constant moving tone. I don't know how that relates to getting over myself. Does a lack of pauses mean I have narcissism or something? Who let my man Blood cook? For real, for real. Goofy Chase. Bro, your intro is cringe and more goofy than the chase. First of all, I would like to know why. Whoa, I'm seeing a pattern here, guys. And secondly, way to invalidate the entirety of my video. If you have a problem with my video, make it on my video, not my fucking intro. I have to disagree. I actually really like the movie. Some people were like, but where are the multiple gunfights and gang fist fighting? I knew to not expect to have these because do you really think 2 or 3 guys can take 30 people gun to gun? No XD. But all in all, the movie did pretty great in my opinion with what it had, and it did great because of it. I liked the actors and the story. When I firstly came in thinking I'm gonna hate it. Look, this guy seems nice and all, but this comment kind of shows you didn't really watch the video at all. Yes, I was underwhelmed by the overabundance of talking scenes and lack of set pieces, which has nothing to do with how many people Nathan Drake kills. In fact, I expected that part to be toned down, but my bigger problem is the characters don't have the charm they used to have. The writing and emotional beats are all a downgrade. Furthermore, what they had is the source material, which is way better. Don't tell me they didn't have anything to work with, because they did. They just chose not to work with it because they're completely out of touch. I don't get it. Movie wasn't bad at all. I'd actually say it was decent. This entire video is an over-exaggeration, but I get it. Need those clicks. Once again, you mind elaborating? It's like you only saw the title of the video and disagree with me on that principle. I do need those clicks though. I need money to live. Throughout this whole thing, you go through it, and whenever there's a flaw, you're like, in the games. We know it could have been done better, but falling back on the games being done better is kinda lazy. Whoa, it's almost like the film has narrative problems that weren't in the source material that could have been easily prevented by simply following the source material. There's nothing lazy about that. If anything, I'm trying to prove the point that the filmmakers are lazy, or at the very least, some some really weird kind of stupid. I know this may be news to you, but nuance is a very real word.
I was with you this entire movie until you called The Last of Us a magnum opus and the show good.
This guy is fucking stupid. So you were with me the entire video, agreed with all my points, and was okay with absolutely everything. But then when you heard that I liked a video game and its television show, a game that, by the way, just a couple years ago was very much well liked until part 2 came out, which caused all the little contrarians that come out of 4chan. Oh no, that's too far. That's way too far. You crossed the line when you liked The Last of Us. Fucking, what kind of goddamn brain rot is this? Look, man, everyone can have their own opinion, and I have no idea how the fuck you can enjoy it, but if you enjoyed the Uncharted movie, all the power to you. But the big moral lesson here is, don't let it rot your brain. And for God's sake, elaborate in my comments section at least. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this really rushed video. I made it before I had to go to a wedding, so I kind of need to have something, you know? Once again, if they can money launder, so can I! Anyways, hater or not, I hope you all have a really good night, and I hope you all avoid the writer's strike. I'm gonna sign off. Have a good one, everyone, and give me a little kiss goodnight before you go.
Fuck you in the lanes you came with. Me and you ain't on the same shit. You ain't in my lane, bitch. Nah, throw that shit in fifth. Rollie on my wrist. Ay, baby, you a star. I'm my only wish. I'm counting blue hundreds. I'm too money. Ay, and my little bitch, she too lovely. Yeah, hanging up and calling me right back. Ay, baby, why you calling me like that? Yeah, getting high with the seat laid back. Baby, gon' relax, yeah. Hey, they don't know the half, yeah. No matter what happened, I got your back. Baby, that's the facts, yeah. That's the facts, yeah. We can fight, but the feeling's gone. I try to find the words, but they never come. I can still see you on the lawn. Hey, laying outside in the summer sun. Yeah, we can fight, but the feeling's gone. I try to find the words, but they never come. I can still see you on the lawn. Hey, baby, that's the facts, yeah. That's the facts, yeah.